we are going to start a new chapter which is equally beneficial for your class 12th and medical examinations, NEET examinations and some other competitive examinations. The chapter is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Flowering plants have a fascinating part, a special reproductive structure known as flower. More precisely, what are flowers? Flowers are the modification of shoot. Now have a look on a flower structure. A typical flower actually consists of sepal, petal, stamen and pistil. Bulgy part, the lowermost part, a bulgy part which acts as a chair, or you can say it provides a base to sit the flower on this base. So this is what receptacle. This is what receptacle. This bulgy part is known as what? Receptacle. Okay. Just above the receptacle, the leaf-like structure are here. There are leaf-like structure, and these leaf-like structures are known as sepal. These are what? Sepal. The function of sepal is to protect the flower in bud form. When flowers are in the bud form, they are present in the bud form, sepals protect them. You have seen so many flowers like rose, China rose and so many other flowers. Now the uppermost part, which is almost in colored pattern, present in many flowers as a colored pattern, or you can say the colorful part. This is known as petal. Petals play a role to attract the pollinators like insects, birds, etc. Then you see this structure. This is the lobed part, and this is known as anther. This is known as anther. Just below the anther, it is a long thread-like structure which is known as filament. Together, anther and filament is known as stamen. Together, anther and filament is known as what? Stamen. Is it clear? Have you any problem with this? Okay. Then we have a part at the central of the flower. This flower have a special part at the center. The uppermost part here, it is known as stigma, which acts as the landing platform for upcoming pollen grains. Then a tube-like structure is here. This provides a path to the developing pollen grain, and this is what? Style. And the basal part, which is normally oval or round shaped, this is what? Ovary. Ovary bears the female gametophyte, that is embryo sac, where actually the actual process of fertilization takes place. Is it clear? Stigma, style and ovary. Stigma, style and ovary is known as pistil. So this is the female reproductive part. This is what? Female reproductive part. Now, you have to understand that which of the parts of this flower is actually needed for the reproduction, or you can say without them reproduction is not possible. So, sepal and petals, they are helping hand of the process of sexual reproduction, but without them sexual reproduction also takes place in a flower. This clearly indicates that sepal and petals are non-essential parts. That what? Sepal and petals are non-essential part of the flower. Whereas stamen is the male reproductive part. As stigma, style, ovary, that is pistil, this is the required structure for the reproduction because it carries female gametophyte where fertilization is going to be take place. It means stamen and pistil Pistil is also known as carpel. Okay, stamen and pistil both are what? Both are essential part of the flower. So now you clearly understand that not pre-fertilization structures and events. All those events which actually takes place in a flower before fertilization, they are termed as pre-fertilization structures and events. The structures actually here we study about the male reproductive structure and female reproductive structure. Male reproductive structure is what you know. This is called stamen. This is called stamen. Whereas in female structure and female event also, structure and events we include the both term here. We are going to study about the development of female gametophyte and the different structures of ovule. So after the formation of microspore and megaspore, the release of pollen grain takes place and the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma, compatible type of stigma. This is called pollination. This is called pollination. So pollination is another pre-fertilization event. This is another pre-fertilization event. After pollination, pollen tube grows if it is compatible type. Okay, it grows and reaches to the embryo sac. So this process, when a pollen land on the stigma and try to germinate and try to dialogue with the female part, this total process up to the reaching up to the embryo sac, this total process is what? Pollen pistil. Pollen pistil interactions. Pollen pistil interaction. Is it clear? This is also a pre-fertilization event. This is also a pre-fertilization event. So these are what the structures and events we are actually going to study here. First of all, we study the male reproductive structure. In this video segment, we are going to discuss about this particular part, that is male structures and events. Now we are studying about the stamen, microsporangium, pollen grain and the events actually takes place for the male reproductive parts. And again, what is a flower? Flower is the reproductive part of the plant, but it is the modification of shoot. Please note the point that flower is the modification of shoot. Actually leaves in particular condition in terms of some hormones, florescence, and under the control of homeotic genes, that is ABC model of the genes, whatever we call them. Okay, the same bud for the leaf is now converted into the bud for the flower. Simply we can say that in a single line that flowers are the modification of shoot. Is it clear? It means each and every structure which is present here, modified in different forms, these are what? These are leaves. And in biology, leaves are what? Fills. Leaves are what? Fills. What we call the leaf? We call the leaf fill. So this is the male reproductive part. Now we are focusing only male and female reproductive parts, and in this particular discussion we are going to focus only on the male reproductive part. Okay, so these are the male reproductive part. Bear pollen grain, that is microspores. Okay, so anther bear the microspore. Anther bear the microspore. Filament is the supporting structure. Together these are known as what? Stamen. So stamen is called microsporophyll. This simply means that stamen, or you can particularly say that anther, is the modification of the leaf to carry the male reproductive structure. Is it clear? Male gamete or male gametophyte. So this is what microsporophyll. Pollen grains are not male gametes. Yes, pollen grains are male gametophyte. Pollen grains are what? Male gametophyte. Is it clear? Pollen grains are male gametophyte, they are not male gamete. Actually, pollen grain carry the nucleus which is going to be divided on maturation. It means nucleus which have ability to divide is not a gamete. Gamete simply lost its ability to divide. Simply, pollen grains are male gametophyte. Like versatile type of all grass families, poaceae families, this type of structure is very clearly seen. This is one of the most primitive type of structure of the anther, that is base affixed, where filament is attached to the base of the anther. Is it clear? Okay. And this is adenate type of stamen, where this particular filament, it reaches up to the top like connective, and the anther lobes are separated by this filament. Is it clear? Adenate. Whereas the dorsifixed, when filament attached to the dorsal side of the you can say the anther, this is what dorsifixed. And then have a look on the anthers. In most of the families there are dithecous anther, but monothecous anther are also reported in so many families of the flowering plants. In monothecous anther, when we cut it and see the tears, that it has two chambers, two pollen sac chambers, and these are what microsporangium. These structures are microsporangium. Is it clear? So this type of anther is also known as bisporangiate. What? Bisporangiate. Is it clear? But on maturation, they become one. Completely one. So one chamber, the chamber is known as thecus. Chamber is what? Thecus. On maturation, since they become one, so this type of anthers are known as monothecous anther. Clear? Okay. Now move to the dithecous. The same concept is here. On maturation, the two chambers become one, and the upper two chambers become one. So now we have two different thecus, two different chambers. In a particular mature condition of anther, we have two different thecus, that is dithecus. So this type of structures are what? Dithecous anthers, having four microsporangium. Since they have four microsporangium, they are known as tetrasporangiate structure. They are known as tetra, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are known as tetrasporangiate structure. Is it clear? Good. Now have a look on this particular structure. This is the important one, because this is the particular site for the pollen formation, that is microsporogenesis. Earlier here that the four different type of tissues or layers are present in a particular transverse section of a pollen grain, and these are what? The outermost layer is what? Epidermis. Epi means above, derm means skin. The outermost skin is what? Epidermis. Then endothecium. Endo means the inner side, means below the epidermis. The second layer is what? Endothelium. The third layer is middle layer. Middle layer actually consists of a single layer of cells, or you can say more than single layer, that is more than one layer, 2 or 3 layers sometimes. It is thick. In different species it may be differ. Okay, so middle layer, and the innermost part here, which is somewhat darkened, is what? Tapetum, and this portion is what? Sporogenous tissue, that is pollen mother tissue. That is pollen mother tissue, where actually pollen grain formation takes place. Epidermis, endothelium and middle layer. These three layers play a protective role. They protect the inner structure, that is tapetum and sporogenous tissue. Clear? Okay. Now have a look on cellular structure. This is the outermost structure if you see, and this is what? Epidermis. The outermost structure is epidermis, and just below the epidermis this is the endothelium. Endothelium, and here two layered middle layer is also present. This is what? Middle layer. Together from here to here, this provide protection. So these are protective layers. These are what? Protective layers, as they provide protection to the inner one. And inner one is what? The tapetum, which is nutrition providing in nature. That is what you can say, that tapetum is the nurse layer, nurse cell layer or nurse layer, which provide nutrition to the pollen grain and developing pollen grain. And the innermost part is the sporogenous tissue part, where the actual process of pollen grain formation takes place. Now how a pollen grain develops? The development of pollen grain is what? Microsporogenesis. Is what? Microsporogenesis. Now consider that these cells may become mature. Single nucleus. Tapetum cells have either one nucleus or more than one nucleus also. So what I have drawn here, the 3 dots for the 3 nucleus, 2 dots for the 2 nucleus, 1 dot for the 1 nucleus. This is a special quality. They have enormous amount of, they have large quantity of food material, that is reserve food material. So on maturation, as the anther become mature, these sporogenous cells also become swollen and they filled with the cytoplasmic content, so that karyoplasmic index is going to be disturbed. In this particular case, this is what? Pollen mother cell, PMC. Pollen mother cell having diploid content of chromosome, and now these are ready for the further division, means pollen formation. So meiosis takes place. What? Meiosis. Reductional division takes place. And these structures are known as pollen tetrad. All are connected with each other. They cannot get separated at the very first stage. In microsporogenesis, microspore is formed from the pollen mother cell. That is, pollen grain is formed from the pollen mother cell, and this process is what? Simply called microsporogenesis. When meiosis takes place, the process is what? Meiosis. The division is meiosis. That is, reductional division when takes place in mature pollen mother cell. It divides into 4 daughter cells, but here the daughter cells are remain packed with each other, intact with each other, and they are termed as pollen tetrad. In different families, even in a single plant, some different type of pollen tetrads are formed. And after this, maturation of pollen tetrads takes place, so that each pollen daughter cell, that is each pollen here, gets separated and become a mature pollen grain. In the very first step, they get separated and gain two walls. The outer wall, which is the tougher one, called exine, and the inner wall called intine. The inner wall is called intine. The exine is actually made up of sporopollenin, which is one of the toughest chemical in the world. Okay, and intine is made up of cellulose. Then vacuole formation takes place at one end, due to which the nucleus pushed downward to either end. And after this, the vacuole become very large. The vacuole become very large. The two small vacuoles get attached and become very large vacuole. This vacuole actually push the nucleus to the lower side, where unequal type of division takes place. Here what? Unequal type of division takes place. If you can see this. Due to this unequal division, two unequal cells are formed. The upper one is the larger cell and the lower one is the smaller cell. The larger one is known as vegetative cell and the smaller one is known as generative cell. Vegetative nucleus, and this is what? Generative nucleus. So this is the two-celled structure of pollen grain. This is the two-celled pollen grain, and this is the structure of mature pollen grain. Is it clear? Now we have different type of pollen grains in the world. Different type of pollen grains in the world. But before discussing the pollen grain, we must have a look on the different type of pollen tetrad formed. In 1955, Bhatnagar and Johri reported 5 different type of pollen tetrad in Aristolochia elegans. The first one is tetrahedral, having 3 faces to our side and 1 behind us. The second one is isobilateral type. What we have studied here is the isobilateral type. The third one is decusate type. It is like H of the English alphabet, you can see, or you can say the I. Then linear type of tetrad, they are also reported from this one. And finally, the T-shaped tetrad, that is this one, the T-shaped tetrad. So 5 different type of tetrad in a particular plant species, Aristolochia elegans. You must note this. This is one of the important for your medical examinations. Okay. Grains are generally what you can say that 25 to 50 micromillimeter in diameter. Okay. So this is the two-celled pollen grain which is found in most of the angiosperm plants. The larger cell here is vegetative cell having haploid nucleus, and the smaller one is the generative cell also having haploid nucleus. The two-celled stage. Some spine-like structure at the outer covering is you can observe here. This is what the outer layer of this particular pollen grain, and the outer layer is what? This is known as exine. Exine is one of the protective layer which is found in this pollen grain. Exine is made up of sporopollenin. It is made up of sporopollenin. So sporopollenin is a chemical which is one of the most toughest and non-reactive type. They cannot react either with acid or with base. So they form a better protection to the pollen grains in every conditions. There are some other structures where sporopollenin is absent in the outermost layer, and so the small pore-like structure is formed, and this is called germ pore, from where pollen germination takes place when it reaches to the compatible stigma. One germ pore or more than one germ pore can also be found in a particular pollen grain. Is it clear? We haven't any problem with this. The inner layer is known as intine, which is made up of cellulose and some other plant materials. Okay? Now you can observe the allergies of the pollen grains. Whenever you smell a flower, allergic type of reaction and sneezing and some other coughing like activities takes place in the body. Why it is so? It is because of the allergy, pollen allergy, like bronchitis and skin diseases, cancer even. For example, Parthenium is introduced during the Green Revolution from the America to India, and that's why the Indians call the Parthenium as Congress grass. It is given by the Congress of America. Okay, the Congress grass or carrot grass, gajar ghas, carrot grass or Congress grass, Parthenium. The pollen grain is very allergic, and it causes burning and itching in skin, and sometimes it may cause some skin cancer type activities, may target the skin cancer. Asthma and bronchitis is the very common feature, is a very common disease takes place due to this Parthenium pollen. But pollen grains are always harmful? No, they are useful too also. Actually, pollen grains are filled with different nutrients, so they act as food supplement, especially for the athletes. A person who involves in vigorous exercise and vigorous physical activities requires some extra additional nutrients. So pollen grains nowadays packed by the some different pharmaceutical companies, and they place the pollen nutrient, extra power. Okay, so by observing the nature of pollen grain, by observing the honeybees and other insects, that on which type of flower they actually set and collect the nectar and pollens, they transfer the pollens. We also use the same technology for the formulation of some better drugs and some better supplements. So pollens are also act as health supplement. Is it clear? Now pollen key viabilities, the viability of pollen, the time duration up to which a pollen is active actually. It may be few seconds, few minutes, few days, few months also. So if we want to cross fertilize the plant, we must store pollen in a particular active stage. For this purpose we use liquid nitrogen, and we store the pollen at minus 196 degrees Celsius with liquid nitrogen. Nowadays pollen banks are there which store different type of pollen and can be transferred from one place to another place for hybridization programs to enhance seed qualities and to improve some proper nutrient values and some other values. So this is all about the male reproductive structure, events, fertilizer, events, structure and the formation of pollen. Thank you.